now tuned in to Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. Your host, Yankee Tommy and Rebel Brian. Holy smokes, look who it is. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years.
That's right, Daddy. Ain't that right? Rebel B, how you been, baby?
I am good. I'm trying to get over the flu, death apocalypse, whatever this thing was. So trying to get over it, but I'm doing good. How about you, Tommy?
I'm hanging in there. Still got a little bit of the holiday hangover, so just
Yes.
trying to keep myself afloat here, and the lack of sleep with my 15-month-old is just draining. But we are here. We are live. Welcome everybody in to the pod.
Yes.
We appreciate all your support.
It is 2025 almost. It's going to be a new year, new me.
Yeah. Yeah. We all know how long that shit lasts.
Oh, God.
Not long at all. But hey, while the new year changes, we pretty much stay the same.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
You're still looking good with those orange glasses, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You and the Dudley shirt.
Well, when you're the greatest Wrestlecast out there, you hear yourself with the greatest tag team ever.
That's right. And Happy New Year to everybody. I know that New Year's has hit a couple places already across the world, and we'll be seeing it later tonight. So Happy New Year. 2025 is among us. And 2025 bringing newness to the wrestling world. So I'm breaking out the radio voice again.
I know.
I was a used car salesman.
I was hoping you say it wouldn't be the fungus among us. So I'm glad we didn't go there. But yeah, guys, we are back. We are live. Couple things we're gonna go over. So we're gonna have a little bit of a new format going forward. So going forward, starting with the brand new year, we're gonna have one live show a month that we'll do right before the PLE. We'll still have our 4 podcasts once a week, every week. So that'll stay the same, but we're just gonna cut down on the live shows to keep it special for every time we get to see each other's beautiful faces.
Yes.
I know there was a lot of good things said about the Chris Benoit series that we did and wanting some more of that. So we're looking into doing some more investigative series to add to what we already do on a weekly basis. And also introducing Brian and I playing WWE 2K on Twitch.
Yes.
So a couple things to look forward to in the future. And to get excited for. And obviously, we'll keep y'all updated with anything we have coming up with that and any news we can share. But as always, I'll do the plug. Please follow, subscribe to our pages, like our podcast, give it a rate. Let us know what you like, don't like. It helps us out a lot. You can check out our link tree. It'll be posted in the chat. As well as in the info of the pod. So you can click and check out all the stuff we got going on. Our Twitch, Facebook, Patreon, YouTube, our pop-up shop, which will be having some new merch coming out here soon. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
We'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good year, 2025. Obviously have Raw on Netflix coming up this upcoming week, so that's exciting. Brian, what are your first impressions of how the Raw on Netflix is going to go?
Well, it's going to be a great first show. My only, I guess, weird part of it is going to be, are we going to go back to the same style of show that we get every week with filler matches and all that stuff after this first big extravaganza And then are we going to go back down, or are we going to have these kind of matches every week? That's my only concern.
Yeah, I mean, I sincerely hope, whatever new format that they're doing with Raw on Netflix, that they keep it. And from the promo video Triple H put out, obviously, it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit edgier, hopefully. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit of that as well. But I don't want to get too much into that. One of the big reasons we're here is we're going to have our YRW year-end awards.
Year-end awards. It's the YRW year-end rewards. Okay.
Mr.
Hey,
Milo's
Milo.
here. Milo's joined the pod, buddy. Hello. You say hi to the people?
Hi, Milo.
Say hi. No? But, yes, we're going to have our YRW year-end awards. And, Brian, you want to kick us off with the first category?
Let's start down at the match of the year. We're going to go down and move our way up.
Perfect.
And match of the year, I actually have given Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in Hell in a Cell. That was my match of the year.
Okay. So in my honorable mention, honestly, for this, I had the Punk McIntyre strap match as an honorable mention. But my match of the year, is Roman versus Cody, Night 2 of Mania.
Yeah, I could see that.
I thought just given the enormity of what was going on storyline wise, and given that it was at Mania and with all those OMG moments, I thought it was just the biggest overall match. But I mean, Punk McIntyre killed it this year. Yeah, you got lots to say, my dude.
Well, I would agree with that. I mean, it was the finish in the story and all that fun stuff, but I don't know, man. That the rivalry between Drew and Punk was just solid gold to me.
Oh, top to bottom. I mean, and they filled the whole calendar year, which is not something that they would do normally.
Yeah.
So, next category, NXT Superstar of the Year. And I got Roxanne Perez for this one.
I don't.
Of course you don't.
I don't, but she does deserve it. She does deserve it. I have got Trick Williams as my NXT Superstar of the Year. Whoop that Trick. And honorable mention is Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I mean, he technically was in NXT. But I just think Roxanne, she's been the constant. Dominant. She's held it down. She's picked up and put down every female that's come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Milo knows I'm right. He's telling the people. Hi. Saying hi to the peeps. But why Trick, Brian? Why Trick? Because I mean, he's been kind of up and down for me this year.
And I think that's the biggest thing is that if we have a superstar that goes to having the title, loses that title, gets the title back, you've got that roller coaster effect. And what he does in between those situations where he doesn't have the title is what made the whole thing for me, because he did not go stagnant. Yeah. He kept his relevance, and he just, to me, just set up great rivalries. He set up great matches. He refereed the match between God, I'm having a brain spasm. Ethan Page, and I just think that he held his own this year, and I think that he deserves to be NXT Superstar of the Year.
Yeah, he was a close second for me. I just feel like, highlighting just how strong the NXT women's division is in general, and just the fact that Roxanne's just been killing it, and she's young. I want to say she's under 25.
Yeah.
So she's she's a prodigy, honestly, in my opinion, and she's killing it. And I think she's going to be pretty big whenever or when she gets drafted. If they still continue that, I don't know what this new format's going to be, but if they still have Raw and SmackDown as separate brands, I think she's going to be a first round draft pick easy.
Oh, easily, and she's going to add so much to the women's division that's needed right now.
Yeah, I mean, especially with not having the likes of Alexa Bliss, and for lack of a better substitute, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
But those vets that aren't there, I think she can help fill that void and then some, and bring some more legitimacy to the women's division.
Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez. That's got to happen.
Oh my God, Liv Morgan and Roxanne. That'll be a banger.
Yeah.
All right, now on to the next one. We got Rivalry of the Year. I think I can safely say you and I will be in agreement on this.
Yeah, I've got Drew versus Punk.
Yep. I don't think there is a story right now that really can touch that. I mean, you could maybe go Cody and Roman, but that didn't last all year. You could go Cody in the Bloodline, but after Roman left, it was a little wishy-washy in my opinion. I just think the longevity and how long they were able to prolong this story and still have a finite answer, but still also leave it open for something in the future.
Yeah,
is something that kind of really stood out to me. And just both them on the mic, man. I mean, they're definitely two of the best, and I think they brought out some of the best in each other.
well, I mean, you could put the Bloodline in there for sure. I mean, it's longevity storyline, but Roman was gone most of it,
Right.
so Drew versus Punk is definitely, to me, what a rivalry should be.
Yeah, because I mean, like you had your give, you had your take, you had the ability to stretch it out and bring in other people while still keeping them the main focus of it, which to me speaks volumes to Punk and Drew. And I mean, they carried a rivalry how you should. And Drew might have lost it, but he's still strong as ever. So it's like
Agreed.
It didn't hurt him, and that's what you don't want. You don't want to have rivalries where even if you lose it, you get knocked down. You still want to keep Drew as a top, heel, while also not lose his luster.
I agree with that, Tommy. And he's got and plus now he's got this rivalry with Jey Uso now, which is not as strong as his rivalry with Punk, but I mean he's still going from banger rivalry to banger rivalry.
Well,
each and
right,
every
you're
time.
still with the bloodline. It's still going after the bloodline, which isn't so far off. And with Punk as well, he's going after Seth. And that's been a slow burning rivalry since he came back. So there's the history there.
We'll be talking about that one at the end of 2025.
Right. I mean, it's only going to get better from here. I mean, if you saw Raw, it's only going to get better.
Well, let's jump into the next category, Tommy, and that is the faction of the year. This one's going to be probably a little weird for me to even say, and so I'm gonna let you go first. Who do you think the faction of the year is?
I mean, to me, it's the Bloodline, and that's only because, I mean, it's such a dynamic story in and of itself, and then you just bring in the fact that there really hasn't been too many legitimate, stable factions to me that you can really put up with them, that give them too much competition, because I feel like there's been so many we bring a group together, we take them apart, we do this, we do that. There's just been a lot of moving parts, and I feel like you've really been the one constant that I haven't really had to worry about. And I think they're getting better with it.
Yeah.
Right now, I just don't think there's anyone that can really touch them.
Well, I had Bloodline in my top two, but I went a little bit different and went with American Made
Okay.
as my faction of the year, just because how they split up Alpha Academy, and then Chad went directly into American Made, got the Creed brothers, and got Avinal, and it just I think that this faction is going to be something big,
Oh
and
yeah.
I love the Kurt Angle vibes. I love all that. So yeah, I think I'm just getting so tired of the bloodline that I've just
Well,
got to
it's
pick something else.
yeah, and I got caught in that same wave of thinking where it's like I can't just pick the bloodline because that's some would call the easy one to pick. I'm like American Made is one that I feel like has the potential, and you and I are big Chad Gable fans, so I mean
Yes.
it's one of those where I just think that in order for them to grow, I think they need to get them away from Alpha Academy because
I will agree with that.
I feel like that's holding them back a little bit from the potential that they actually have, and actually seeing the Creed brothers do a little bit more and actually see them win. Because I feel like they could be a legit stable, and maybe the Raw on Netflix will, they might be able to turn up the dial a little bit, and
Yeah.
we'll get to see more of that Chad Gable who was literally yelling at Maxine on Raw and being a straight up prick. Like, I think if we get a little bit more of that, and like I say with Dom, just like having Chad be able to win matches and look good in the ring and kind of build that snowball effect of momentum, I think it'll do them a lot of good. And they might, be my faction of the year next year.
Yeah. I think Judgment Day is a close third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most definitely. But they just had so many explosions and everything, and then Damian Priest getting booted out, Rhea Ripley getting booted out. So
Yeah.
you had a lot of turmoil that took place with the Judgment Day this past year. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, how about best entrance?
Yeet.
You think so? That's
Jey Uso.
it
Jey
was.
Uso. I just think. I mean, one could say maybe Cody Rhodes is, but I just think the way Jey Uso can hype up that crowd, and even after all this time, he still gets the reaction. I just think, for me, the best entrance is crowd centric, but also kind of gets everybody going.
Yeah.
And while one could say Cody is, I'm kind of getting a little stale of him right now.
Yeah.
I think I just got to go with Jey Uso.
See, I went a different route. I went with CM Punk. And after all these years, it still gets the crowd popping. And yeah, I know it's not everybody in the crowd doing the yeet and everything, but
No,
I
I mean
still
everyone's
think
still
that
singing with it though. Like everyone still sings
yeah,
every word of that song.
yeah. So I've got CM Punk, so I went a different route, which we have
Just
disagreed on
a lot more than
a
I thought.
lot more than I thought we were going to. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um, Male superstar of the year was pretty
female,
easy for me.
female,
Oh, sorry, female.
yeah.
Female superstar of the year, Liv Morgan.
You think so?
Yeah, I think as much as I wanted to put Baby Boo Bear, Queen Nia Jax, I just don't feel that lately Nia's been portrayed in the best of light, and I don't think her stories have really been kicking it off. And Liv has been a mainstay on Raw and has been in one of the more heated rivalries in recent memory with Rhea Ripley. And she's the champ. I mean, she's the crown jewel champion.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard for me to argue with what Morgan's been able to do this year.
See, I put Nia.
And I don't hate you for it because I thought about her. I thought about it. But I just feel like lately her storylines have not been that great. It's been just a recycling of Bailey and Naomi and Tiffany cashing in. There's been nothing new for me.
Yeah. But we also got to remember she won Queen of the Ring. She's held the title for a very, very long time so far.
Yeah, she has.
And so, but I will also agree with you on Liv because she's had a dominant year, and we'll see if that continues on Raw and Netflix coming up next week.
I know. All right, I'm gonna jump to. I'll jump to male superstar of the year, and we'll end with the return because I'm interested to see what you have about that. Male superstar of the year for me was pretty easy. I put Gunther for the same reason.
Okay.
For the same reason that you picked Trick Williams for NXT.
Yeah.
Gunther had the IC title, lost it. He won King of the Ring. He won the World Heavyweight title, and he's held it. And he's been in high-profile matches. And even when, he kind of had a lull with Damian Priest, he still won that triple threat match and looks just dominant.
Yeah.
And he's by himself. He doesn't have Imperium really at his side really anymore. So he's kind of just a one-man wrecking crew. And, it's, for me, it's hard to, I mean, you could argue Cody. He won, he took the title off Roman. He won the crown jewel, but I just think Gunther has had a better run with his prospective title. And I feel like people who are wrestling purists, I feel like revere him a little more than Cody, but that's just me.
I'll agree with that. I went a completely different route, man. And you're going to be like, why? But I picked Kevin Owens as Superstar of the Year because he went from Mark to heel, back to a little bit of Mark, back to heel. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's an underrated choice because, I mean, Kevin Owens, he kind of did what Dom did a little bit in respect of, when Dom, was already heel and when he went even more heel when he turned on Liv, which I had never seen before. And then, like Kevin, he was Mark, like you said, he went heel, went back to a little bit of a Mark, and then went to even more of a heel when he attacked Cody and Randy. So, I mean, I think it's underrated. Like, he doesn't have maybe the accolades that you would like to see, but I mean, he's been an MVP just all around. Just whatever he's in and whatever he does it the best, and he's so reliable. And I mean, he's long overdue for a championship. So I hope that maybe they surprise us and he takes it off of Cody at some point. I think he deserves it, and I think Cody and his title runs run a little bit stale for me. So I don't think you're too far off of that one. I just wasn't in that thinking.
It's probably time for a rest for Cody because he has held that title for a long time, and he's kind of pushing that what I would consider a rest time. And I think that Kevin Owens deserves a title shot again and a title run and being able to. I just don't see how Cody's going to outdo Kevin Owens in a ladder match.
No, and for those of you who are of the wrestling purist mindset, Brian, you'll understand where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I feel like Cody Rhodes is a better chaser of a title than a title holder.
Yeah.
Kind of like Stone Cold was. Stone Cold, when he was chasing the belt, there wasn't anybody better than him when he was going after something he wanted. And I feel like Cody he's not up to that level, but I feel like he's a lot better when he's going after something than when he has it and is trying to hold it. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, look at how many times he got beat to death by the Bloodline this year, and just you're like, why is this guy still champion? I mean, because Solo's, let's face it, Solo's beat him like 3 times,
Yeah.
and just make your point. He's a better seeker than he is as a champion.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
just some guys are like that. Some guys can do both. Some are one or the other. It's just kind of how it falls. But I mean, I sincerely hope that with this new era that we see more of the title runs that are maybe a little bit shorter than what they have been. Like we don't need to see in the modern era like 4 year long, 5 year long reigns. I feel like if you keep them a little bit shorter, you're able to establish more legitimate contenders, giving them the title, because you can throw in Damian Priest and stuff. You can throw in
yeah,
guys like Kevin Owens. And I feel like the more you strategically grow your championship pool, it'll make the roster that much better and elevate everybody a
yeah,
little bit to where it's like, hey, you got contender versus contender, and they're both former champions, which only elevates the champion that they face as well. So, I mean, all around, I think it would be better for them to maybe shorten it. But what do you think? Do you like the long title runs, or do you think they should be shortened a little bit?
it depends on who's carrying the title. Right now, I'm not enjoying Cody's title run. He's going back to whiny Cody, and it's I'm just not. It's he's almost to the point of how he was in AEW when everybody was like, just stop putting belts on yourself.
Right, right, yeah, and I think he could be better used as a featured match on a card, but not holding the title. Like him versus Kevin normally would be fine. Him and Roman
Yeah,
without a title, I think would be great. Him versus The Rock would be also great. And if you expanded that a little bit, and get him working with other people, like I thought the match he had with Carmelo Hayes was a great match,
yeah,
but it was more of a one-off. And not to switch gears too much, but I mean, since that match, really, what have they really done with Carmelo Hayes, who was supposed to be a number one draft pick for SmackDown?
yeah. He's just lost match after match after match, and got in the U.S. title hunt, but what happened with that? Did nothing pursued for Carmelo at all?
No. So, I mean, maybe with the extra time, they'll be able to fix SmackDown, because they'll be going to 3 hours, but I don't know, man.
I don't know if they got the roster to do a 3 hour show.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That like depending on the format, if they end up having the draft again, they're gonna have SmackDown with the 3 picks, since Raw's gonna be back to 2 hours again. So they're gonna have to switch that up because obviously Raw has more of a deeper talent pool than SmackDown right now, just because of that. So,
Yeah, I agree with that.
but on to our final award of the year, being Return of the Year. Brian, I'll let you go first with this one. Who do you got and why?
Roman.
Yep.
There's just no comparison. But I will say this. He's had a lackluster return
Yeah.
the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you think?
I mean, it's funny. Ever since Paul Heyman's been back, he really hasn't done a whole lot.
No.
Like he had the one segment that they filmed about him challenging Solo to tribal combat, but really beyond that, I mean, I'll give credit where credit is due. Solo's been there every week.
Every week, man.
He's been on Raw, he's been on SmackDown, he's been all over, and I'll give him, Jacob, and Tom a credit because they've been on every single show. And I get Roman, he's not going to be there every week. And I get that. But however, with you being SmackDown's number one guy by far, you need to, especially if you're hyping up this tribal combat, you need to be there.
I agree with that.
Because it's almost like now Roman's been gone. Now his bloodline is just doing their own thing now. It's like you got the band back together for one night only. I mean, since then, it really hasn't been much until they announced Tribal Combat for Raw. I mean, it's really just been a whole lot of nothing.
And what happens if Solo wins Monday night? Do you turn around and let Roman start getting back up in Cody's business and him going back for the title, because he won't be tribal chief?
No, and that's his whole moniker. And just trying to think about this, like Roman said at Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech that without him, there is no tribal chief, because without, but also without the Ulafala, Roman isn't tribal chief. So with that, I mean, he'd have to do a pretty major character change if they're not going to give him that tribal chief title.
Well, what about this though, Tommy? If he does get the Ulafala back, where's everybody else at to protect his back? Well, I mean, Jimmy's going to be there
with a broken toe.
Jay's doing his thing, and God forbid that Sami Zayn get involved again. But
God. Well, and that's the thing that's so up in the air, is that with this being, I mean, this is like the Raw after Mania. This is going to be one of the biggest Raws of the year, if not the biggest. And you got to think, what surprises are they going to have? You obviously presume The Rock's going to be there. You assume he's going to have some type of effect on this match, presumably. You still have Hikuleo, who's been signed for months, that hasn't even debuted yet.
Yes.
You have rumors of Umaga's son Zilla being signed, because he canceled all of his independent stuff I saw recently. So you have potentially him coming in. There's so many factors that we don't really know yet, but I think business-wise, it would be best if you split up Solo's bloodline to allow Solo to grow depth in his own character. You allow Jacob to branch off and be the superstar that he's going to be. And then you let, Tama Tonga kind of, fiddle around with the mid-card scene until Tonga Loa gets back and they can go for tag team gold. But I mean, I just don't know what you're going to do with Roman character-wise if he's not the tribal chief.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to really do something completely different than what he has been doing. And also you have to put into, account what is the favor that Punk has with Heyman. Because that throws kind of a wrench into those plans. So there's just a lot of unknowns we don't know about that will affect kind of where this story goes. But yeah, just to come full circle, I mean, it was the biggest return of the year and it wasn't really close. But since then, it really hasn't. It's kind of just slowly gone downhill since then. Sadly.
It has. But just like Cody Rhodes, everybody's hanging on to Roman and still supporting the tribal chief every time he comes out to talk or wrestle. I mean, it's kind of weird. I mean, like, I get it that the younger generation loves Cody. It's just we remember the days of AEW and him putting titles on himself for no reason because he was an EVP. Mm-hmm. I just don't see how long this run's going to last for Cody.
Yeah, it's the way they've been going. I mean, I don't know. Like, are they going to end up moving? Like Cody to Raw? Like we said, like we don't know if there's going to be a draft. We don't know if they're just going to be kind of like the Super Show style where everybody goes everywhere. Because if
and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, but then if that's the case, then having 2 world champions doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you're the champion of your respective brand. But then if you commingle it again, then you're going to have to reunify everything. And I feel like with the talent they have, they'd almost have to just redraft it. So, which essentially means that 90% of whatever SmackDown had that was good is going to go to Raw. And then again, all the, the afterthoughts or lessers are going to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because Raw's going to have Roman. It's going to have Cody. So then you're essentially going to put Gunther on SmackDown. You're probably going to keep Braun Breaker on Raw, which would leave Shinsuke on SmackDown. The tag team titles, they can stay where they are.
Yeah.
Because, they're brand specific anyway. And then, your women's champion, I can probably assume you're going to keep Liv. Yeah. So then leaves Nia on SmackDown. So, I mean, really, you're taking whatever SmackDown has. Raw's keeping what they have. Essentially shipping it. So, I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because I'm like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, we did see the teaser of Penta. I wonder where he's going to run into this situation at.
God, I hope they don't put him with the LWO. Sweet Jesus, please don't. Don't do it like unless you're going to revamp the LWO and eventually get Rey Fenix and put Rey with the Lucha Brothers and make them a legitimate stable.
Yeah.
Just leave him alone. Leave him and let him do his own thing until Rey Fenix comes or whatever, because he's too good to be wasted.
I agree with that, and we've waited so long for them to show up.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's the same with Ricky Starks. They keep kicking the can down the road with him, and Tony Khan, being the asshole that he is, essentially just keeps doing what he was shaming Vince McMahon for doing. He's doing exactly the same thing. Yeah. Rather than just let him go, he's making him ride out his contract until it's over because he knows where he's going. So, I mean, AEW has completely gone straight to hell. And, I mean, I just don't understand, after the episode we did where I read that whole, thread of everything that AEW started with and where they are now, it's completely different.
Completely.
It's completely unrelated to what they started with and why people fell in love with it. It's completely gone. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It's just kind of inmates running the asylum, like we've said, and it's just all over the place, and you want to like it because of some of the superstars that are there, but it's hard because when you hear quotes like I hear that, as long as you don't take AEW too seriously, it's actually not half bad. like
what?
Like what does that say about your company? Don't take them seriously and don't look into a lot of their things, and then you'll actually enjoy it. What?
Unbelievable.
What?
That is crazy. and here's the thing, at World's End, we even had the return of Edge, and he finally puts the last member of the Shield with the, I guess, the pipe or whatever that he used to put in between their mouth and put them in a crossface, and it's still lackluster, man. Because, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand the whole thing.
It's like it's gone from AEW is where the best wrestle, and then now it's gone from like I'm just having fun. I'm having fun. We're all just having fun. Okay, it's good to have fun, but it's also good to draw because that means you get more money.
Well, they did have the return of Kenny Omega and Edge at World's End. But I'm like, is Omega versus Okada what you needed to do with Omega to start off with?
No, and they've been fumbling Okada, in my opinion. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, they sign all these big names, and what real impact have they made since they've been here?
they haven't. And that's the crazy part. And I'm so tired of John Moxley that I can't stand it, which
Oh,
that's been a year that I've been tired of him, but
I've been tired of him for about 3. Like, I mean, like honestly, like just past COVID, it's like, what does he do that's different? It's just recycled, and it's not even good for cycling. It's
he's
like
like the Timu Stone Cold.
and that's a disgrace to Timu right now because I like what Timu has. I mean, it's literally like your Uncle Larry shaved his head in the backyard and threw a vest on and some pants and called himself a redneck. Like, I mean, that's literally about what it is, and nothing about his character to me is anything worth mentioning.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Because you think about it, ever since Regal left, their whole group has been garbage. Like, I mean, there's a certain time when managers can lift a sinking ship and make them actually sail pretty good. And in my honest opinion, when William Regal left, that was a downfall of that stable.
Yeah. I I would love to have somebody come on the show that can support AEW and tell us
Oh,
why.
please,
And
please,
tell us why.
please, because then I just want someone to try to rationalize it, please,
Like
please, because like
why are we so upset with AEW and why are you not?
yeah, like tell me. I mean, if you can give me legitimate arguments as to why AEW isn't bad based off of the stuff we've already read and mentioned, how here's how they started, here are the promises Tony Khan made, and here's where they are now. Like, tell me how that doesn't compute with you and doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's an AEW fan, anybody, I'll look right in the camera, anybody who's an AEW fan, and they want to somehow come on here and debate against us why AEW is good and why Tony Khan is the greatest booker since the beginning of time,
Yeah.
please come on the show. Please. Because I'd love to see you try.
Yeah. Dave LaGreca would tell us how great AEW is.
Oh, Dave Meltzer. All the Daves.
Dave,
You know
yeah,
what, man? Dave
all the
LaGreca,
Daves.
Dave Meltzer. Both just suck ass. So bad. I mean, freaking for God's sakes, Will Ospreay could just do a backflip and it's a 7-star match.
Absolutely.
Sold. Sold. Kenny Omega just pulls the trigger, bang, it's a 5-star.
Yeah.
But, Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov could have an instant classic and it's probably a 3.5.
Yeah.
Punk and McIntyre can have a banger match and it's maybe a 4 at best. It just you can't tell me there's no WWE bias. You just can't.
No. Vince must have pissed Meltzer off.
I mean, you saw the doc. You saw the doc, man. I mean, Dave Meltzer, he was throwing his dig strategically where he could. He just throwing on Vince's way, which that might be now that we mentioned, that might be one that we have to come back to and go over that docu-series because that was really good, and it'd be good to rewatch it and then just re-talk about all that, because I feel like, especially with this new era, it'd be pretty perfect, in my opinion, to kind of go over the rise and fall of Vince. So,
well, let's jump into our rants for tonight. I'm gonna let you go first, Tommy.
oh, I was gonna let you go first. Oh, the
No, you
pressure's
don't.
on.
You just you want to save me to the last. I'm just gonna be honest.
Really? Save the
Yeah,
best for last, huh?
I guess.
Oh God. Well, my rant for the last day of 2024 is that 2025 is going to be the explosion in the upwards direction for YRW.
Yes.
We got so much we're bringing your way. We got just content upon content to bring for you guys, and we're just excited to be back. Um, guys, if you have any thoughts on things you want to hear us debate about, you want to hear us go over maybe more in depth than we are normally to on a regular show, please feel free to send us your stuff, whether it's a DM, a comment, whatever you got. Just feel free to let us know. And again, I'm just going to plug it. Go on our Twitch, follow, subscribe, go to our podcast, go to the link tree. We're going to post it in the chat so you guys can go take a look at everything we got going. I'm excited. I know I can speak for Brian. He's excited as well. And just stay tuned. Remember, we got the new format. So just make sure that you're keeping an eye on your podcast platforms because we're going to be releasing those once a week along with this one. So just keep an eye out for all this stuff. We'll be posting a lot here in the upcoming days and weeks. So just stay tuned in. Again, love all wrestling, even if some of it sucks. And hey, let's get ready for Raw on Netflix, man, because they just better not let me down. Otherwise, they're gonna have a real rant coming their way for 2025. But
Absolutely.
Brian, the floor is yours. You sound like you're gonna underwhelm. I know you're not, but let the shit fly.
Well, I'm going to piggyback for just a second on Raw on Netflix. I think that we are getting prepared for something that we've not witnessed before. I know everybody's scared because of the Tyson and Paul fight because it was buffering like something stupid, but we did have some NFL games that did not buffer on Netflix. So hoping that WWE will be able to have a perfect stream without buffering and with all that, but it depends on how many people log into this because that's what happened to the Tyson and Paul fight was there was too many people on the server. So you got to wonder could this be a complete shit show? And at any point in time, because people are overloading the server to watch Raw next Monday, because that's a pretty good card. I'm not going to lie. It's a pretty damn good card.
No, I mean it is. I mean when you think about it, you got Tribal Combat, you got Rollins versus Punk, you got Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre. We'll see the start of Cena's retirement tour. Last Man Standing with Rhea and Liv. Like it's going to be a good card, and I'm sure come Friday we may have some more stuff added to it. But it's going to be a banger top to bottom, and it's just that's what I'm nervous about. Is like the NFL is one thing, but I don't think it carries the enormity that Raw does on Netflix because that's going to be a staple. And I'm nervous that I'm going to be trying to log in and it just crashes and crashes and crashes. And I mean, like what? I mean, are they gonna keep the show going even though it crashes? Like what's going to happen? Because if it crashes and how many people can watch it,
what precautions are they taking? That's got to be my number one question is what precautions are they addressing that we won't have the same thing happen that we had in the Tyson and Paul fight?
Right, because it's not like it's being taped and the episodes will be available on Monday. This is live, so this is like it's not regularly in Netflix's wheelhouse to have live specials. I mean, they have them occasionally, but it's not their forte. It's not like a cable company where that can run, quick and smooth. So
Yeah, it's a little scary. Not gonna lie. Last part of my rant. 2025, 2024 first. We saw so many different things. You guys saw the pink robe. You guys have saw our merch. You guys have saw everything that we've done. This upcoming year, I'm going to bug Dave LaGreca more than I've ever bugged him in my life. I am going to get a response from this man, even if it's leave me alone. I will get a restraining order out on you. I'm going to bug Dave LaGreca until he acknowledges his true tribal chief, and that is me.
absolutely.
So,
And I mean, I
so
don't care if you have to bring out that robe every episode and just taunt him with it. I'm fine.
he just thinks because he's got his big Sirius XM mansion in the sky up there, he doesn't have to look at little guys like me. Well, he's going to in 2025. It's going to happen.
Oh, it's
Damn,
true.
it's true. It's damn true. So that's my rant for tonight, and I just hope that all of us can have a good time watching Raw on Netflix next week and enjoy a little bit of Attitude Era. I hope that's what we're looking at for next Monday.
If they do, it's gonna skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket even more than it has. So I am excited. I am excited. Triple H's promo kind of made me feel like it's gonna have that kind of vibe. So we'll
Yeah,
see. But man, yeah, it's gonna be epic. We might have a pretty long show that next week, just
yeah,
recapping everything. Because wow.
yeah. Well, that's got us finished for tonight. You got anything else you want to say before we close out this bad mamma jamma tonight?
Yeah, I do. Fuck Tony Khan. Fuck that pencil neck piece of shit.
it's the shots have been fired for 2025. Everybody, they have been fired, and it's going to continue. So you got to stay right here to YRW as one of us is going to get a response. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're just gonna be like that gnat that just keep flicking away because it just won't go away. We're gonna be that gnat. We are
Yes.
going to be the thorn in your side. We are going to be the pimple on the ass of your life, as as Jim Ross once poignantly quoted. We are going to be that thorn in your side. Everything that's annoying, we are going to be
Agreed.
in the name of YRW.
That's right. That is right.
I mean, hey,
Guys,
last thing before we go. I mean, hey, I don't know how much bigger it can get, but we got John Cena, if you remember, to follow us
yes, we
this
did.
year.
Yes, we
So,
did.
hey, if John Cena can follow our Twitter, we can certainly get a response from those clowns. So,
Absolutely. And I don't even want to go over the dancing video
oh
on
God,
jeez oh
that was
mercy.
awful. That was awful. I felt bad for Bully Ray. That was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
made me vomit.
Well, guys, don't forget to follow us on social medias, Facebook. Don't forget to send everybody to Twitch and YouTube. Make sure that you guys are following and subscribing to those. And don't forget about our link tree. If you are on our Facebook page, please make sure you're doing so and follow our link tree. It's got all of our links, ways to help us. We also don't want to forget W Energy as our sponsor. Make sure that you are using our code YR Wrestlecast so that you can get that 10% off of your W Energy purchase. So for Mr. Tommy, I'm Mr. Brian, and we've.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
I don't know. But we will be back next week. We will be going over the Raw on Netflix. We're going to be going over a lot of different things. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. Just type in the search bar and type in Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast, and you will be able to follow us and get notified when we've got new episodes that have just dropped. So again, for Yankee Tommy, I am Rebel Brian, and we have body slammed you again with another episode. We will see you guys next